Tron Ares had the potential of becoming a great film this year. With all the mediocre films that are coming out so far, its only real challenge probably was going to be Lilo and Stitch that actually broke $1 billion. Otherwise, from the visuals, from the trailers that we had seen, it had some great promise. Hesitant was I, but I was hoping that they actually come up with something amazing. Unfortunately, due to the lackluster story, that's not what has happened so far, and it's being played out in the box office results, with it earning just $33.5 million in its opening weekend. That's $10 million or so behind expectations domestically, and likely ends hopes of the franchise ever being rebooted again, which is pretty likely in my opinion here. Now, with that said, let's go ahead and compare these two, because you might hear reports out there that Tron Legacy didn't do all that well either, which is true. That's very true that they didn't do as well as Disney had hoped, but it's completely different from what Tron Ares is doing. Because if you look at this here, if we go to the actual box office numbers here, it gives you a nice little bit of a breakdown comparison between Tron Ares that made the $33.5 million, whereas comparison to Tron Legacy, which made $44 million on its opening weekend, which is roughly equivalent to $63 million in today's dollars. So Tron Ares didn't even make half of the money that Tron Legacy made, and yet Disney had high hopes that it would be breaking that $1 billion to more for its opening weekend, because Tron is a known franchise in nerdom, but it does have more of a cult following. Now, what are the reasons for the failure here? Well, I just already mentioned one, that the story is pretty lackluster. You have Tron Ares, the hero, who isn't really all that great, if I can be honest with you. He's kind of milquetoast. He doesn't really make you celebrate him as a hero. He's okay, he's fine, but he's nothing amazing. He's like more like one of your side characters. He doesn't have the energy that draws you in. You then have Eve Kim, who replaces Sam Flynn unceremoniously. She's not really all that great either. She's more like a girl boss figure. She's not quite a Mary Sue. Ray was definitely a Mary Sue, but she definitely has some tendencies like that in her. So I'm not going to say that she's as bad, but she definitely has more of that girl boss energy that's going on. And then you have the villain of the film, who is once more just kind of lackluster. He gets his feet cut out of him by his mom several times throughout this film. She is constantly threatening, like, hey, I can take away your power as the president of the company. All I need is go talk to the board. And it does happen at one point, and the only reason why he doesn't lose his position is because she gets killed later on. Sorry for the spoiler, but that's what happens. And you don't even really feel bad for her dying, because you're just like, I didn't really much care for you. Like, if they want to do a villain properly, they should have had her as the main villain, because that should kind of have been, yeah, at least a bit more okay. At least she wouldn't have someone in her back ear just whining and complaining about everything that she's doing. Also, her son, for her credit, she was right to whine about one thing. He let these troops go into the real world and cause some mayhem as they were hunting down Eve Kim for something called a permanence code, which is what it sounds like. It's a code to make the programs permanent in the real world, because there's a timer on them for about 29 minutes before they get derezzed. So that alone should have lost him his position there with the company. Like, hey, you send out your troops, they cause some mayhem, you now lost your position. Why? Because the film opens up with a demonstration to the military on the military capabilities of the Dillinger's grid, of Ares and their vehicles, and what they can potentially do and how dangerous they are. Well, when you see these flying, or in this case, motorcycles with these red strips going through the streets that are all black, well, you put two together, like, oh, this must be Dillinger stuff. What the heck are you guys doing? And that does come to bite them in the ass later at the end of the film. But at that point, Dillinger then runs away because he's lost everything, so he heads to his grid to go hide, which is kind of dumb, because if that's his own grid, then why can't they just delete the grid? I'm just, curious about that, exactly why he thought that was a safe place to go. But anyways, that's what happens there. Whereas you compare it to the Tron Legacy film, it's a much more simpler story, fair enough, but it's a lot more human in some respects, because you have Sam Flynn, who goes on a journey to go find his father, who's lost in the grid, and he finds his dad along with a cute girl, and the three of them then try to escape the grid. Now, as they're doing so, the main villain of the film, Clue, tries to stop them. Now, Kevin Flynn sacrifices his life to save his son, and the cute girl from Clue. And that is a father's sacrifice right there. Sam Flynn then takes on the mantle of Encom and tries to bring it back into prominence and tries to be successful. And then you have Korra, who's supposed to change everything. So that would have been fantastic to see another film following that storyline. But unfortunately, from what you've just heard from me, Tron Ares obviously did not do that. In fact, the most respect they gave to the legacy characters is that Korra is supposedly no longer with Sam Flynn. She got feminism and just left him. Sam Flynn is now apparently having some sort of mental breakdown. He had to leave the company for personal reasons, and Come fell on severely hard times. So much for an advanced ISO and the legendary Kevin Flynn's son, Sam Flynn, taking over the company. It just seems like nosedive when they took control, and it took Eve Kim taking command to leave it into the righteous era. So all that together just makes you wonder, what were you guys thinking? Because no wonder this film is doing so badly. You have people who love Tron Legacy like me, not even coming out to be able to bat for you, because we have to be like, you destroyed the film that we loved. You destroyed the follow-up. You did the modern daysism, Disney, and you're surprised that this is the result that you're getting, that you're surprised that you're getting the $33.5 million for your opening weekend? I can't say I am. So with that all said, what does that leave with Tron Ares? Well, Tron Ares will be appearing on Disney Plus streaming eventually. And so when does that happen? Well, according to this article from Forbes, from what we can predict from previous films, is that it's going to be around 3 to 4 month waiting period after the theatrical debut. Now, for this film, for whole bad bombing, I wouldn't be surprised if you see it a little bit sooner, but at the very least, we'll be seeing it around early December to mid-December, I think, for Tron Ares to be appearing on Disney Plus. So if you don't want to spend your money, which I really wouldn't, just wait for it to be on Disney Plus and go watch it there. But honestly, I don't even know if I'd watch on Disney Plus, because Disney Plus doesn't really hold that great of deals, in my opinion. But with that said, I want to hear what you guys thought. Did you like this film? Do you think it was amazing? What would you have changed the film to make it better? Or do you think you just would throw it in the trash and not even touch Tron anymore? I can't wait to hear what you guys got to say. Leave a like if you liked the video. Leave a dislike if you disliked it. And don't forget to subscribe. Y'all take care now. Bye.